All right. Excuse me. So, to go further with assigning courseware, like I said before, you can search by the grade or subject or by standard. One nice thing is about search by standard is, let's say you've given a mid-year benchmark or a pre-assessment or a benchmark in the middle of the semester and you've gotten the results back and you know which standards your students are deficient at. Well, you can come into the standard-based search. Let's go into Common Core standards because most states are on that. And let's say we're in the ninth or 10th grade. Well, actually, let's change these standards to we have English. Let's change them to math. Well, I'm a math teacher, so we're going to switch those to NORCON Essential Standards and go to something like science, since we don't talk about enough science. And I go to ninth and 12th grade. We have physical science, biology. Let's go into biology. Oh, I see some of my main topics of discussion. Evolution of genetics. Oh, bio 3.1. Let's say that's the the standard that my students are doing bad at. Well, I have each of those subsets of that standard. I click on one of them, and down below pops up all the information that Plato has on biology 3.1.1 explaining the double standard, the stranded complementary nature of the DNA. So then it helps narrow down all of what Plato has to what specifically you want to tailor to the student's needs. So in order to create the assignment, all you have to do is drag it over on top of this little briefcase symbol. Make sure you drop it on there. I know it's annoying, but anywhere over here, it will not work. You want to drop it right on the briefcase. When you drop it on that briefcase, that's allowing it to be utilized in this area for the students to see. Now, the nice thing is that you can add as much as you want over there, and from different areas. So you don't like this, but you might need some of this cell process. Oopsie, I didn't do it. You gotta go right on top of the briefcase. And then let's say you add a few more. The process of evolution, I want that too. And cellular processes, I like that too. And that's enough on that standard for that student. And so, by the way, for that student, you can scroll up, and here's where you can select the student. I'm going to cover those names. You can add a particular student, or one or two of the students, or all of the students to have that lesson. And again, if you want a future student to have the lesson, you click on that little box to assign to any student that's added to the class, along with the due date and the title of the assessment. So cell production, I'm in DNA standard. Let's scroll down, and also what's nice is you can add a pretest to this so that it will exempt them out of this if they already know it. So you give it to a student and they say, I already know all of this, teacher. Well, you say, do the pretest. If you do well on the pretest, then it'll exempt you out of these 4 lessons or these 3 lessons of the standard that you claim that you know. And so you can add a pretest in there. All right, so now to show you how this actually looks, let's click Create an Assignment. When we create that assignment, it pops up right here underneath Summer School 2017, and there's the the group of lessons that you created. So let's click on there. I don't have any students assigned to it. So let's go into Edit Assignment. And here is where you can see what you loaded. If you forgot how it looked, you can click on any of those down arrows, and that's going to open up the lesson. Okay. So now going up to Learner 9, let me add a learner to it and save. The nice thing about these screencasts, remember you can always go back and rewind this to look back what I did. So now I'm under DNA standard, that lesson. It has no due date, I didn't set one. But here's the learner. Each of these bubbles represents a topic that I added in this group of lessons. The first one was that pretest. Notice how there's an edit on each of these. That edit comes in handy because let's say that a student got through most of this tutorial and they usually complete it so that they can go on and take the mastery test. You can click on it and say complete it or in progress, or you can use this as a monitoring tool to make you, the teacher, remember where a student was at. And then under edit for the mastery test, you can adjust their score if you want to give them partial credit because they showed work, or they took notes or whatever the case, or to change the score because they got bonus credit on a Kahoot. You could do that right there and then click master. And the students like this because they will see here, let's master this real quick. They like it, let's say mastered it with a 90. They like it because it'll give them a star. If they don't see that star, they feel like they haven't achieved. And so making that a star, even if they got a 60, but you want them to see that star, Plato automatically doesn't make it a star unless it's an 80 or above on the majority of their assessments. So you have to manually click on that edit button and say mastered for them to see the star if it's not above 80. So again, if they got 60, but you still want them to see the mastered symbol, you're going to click on set mastered and it will change it to a nice star for that student so they can feel good about themselves. All right, so let's go back. And so that was that group of lessons, DNA standard, that we found by searching by standard. And so remember, you can search by subject again. Let's go back in there real quick. You can search by the subject or by standard, or just go through the whole course. Nice thing about going through the whole course that Plato's developed is that they do have, if you scroll down here, the traditional algebra, traditional biology, according to most national standards, Englishes, and health science. There's so much stuff in Plato. North Carolina, American history, North Carolina math, occupational, for your OC prep students, physical science. And then also we have just more math and web technologies and all kind of stuff. So what's nice though about this area is that if you click on one, it shows you the whole unit, the whole pacing of the whole course. So you can dive into whatever you need. Students taking this recovery, you also can utilize it in the classroom for makeup work. Kid is missing because they're sick or they're at home, you can assign this for them as well. All right, so we'll continue with the next video showing how you can implement this into the classroom setting. Thank you.